This is Abbas for the Boxing Voice, joined by Adam Smith. Adam, thank you for your time
Abbas, how are
first.
you?
I'm very well. Thank you for your time to start with. I've seen you do a lot of media today as well, so I appreciate obviously your time. Let's go straight into this.
I love this business, so don't worry about that at all. I'll be here till they kick me out. Don't worry about that. In fact, I'll probably sleep here. I could do with a bit of a sleep after the jet lag from New York, so maybe I'll just rest down here for a couple of days. I'm not sure my wife and family will be too happy, but I don't want to be too far from the ring now it's being built.
We are definitely going to touch on New York as well and Katie Taylor, but I do want to ask straight into business with Undisputed. From the press conferences, it felt like Team Usyk were downplaying Daniel Dubois in the past couple of years. Just give me your thoughts on this. Is it just more mind games from Team Usyk?
Mind games from Team Usyk, the master of the mind games, the Rubik's Cube, the Sudoku champion, the probably could be a professional swimmer, acrobat. I mean, he could do anything, Oleksandr Usyk. He's a very, very intelligent guy. They're a really good team that he's got around them. They're ready to fight guys, Serge Lapin, Kirill Pirog, but they're very, very intelligent. You saw the Professor Kuba up there as well, who does the numbers. They're a super smart team, and nothing will rattle them. They believe that they'll win, and they're probably just putting a couple of seeds into Daniel's mind. I don't think Daniel will be affected. I think he has changed his mindset in the last couple of years. He's not changed as a human being. He's the same guy. Of course he is. And he's the same guy that got stopped by Joe Joyce and stopped by Oleksandr Usyk. And that's what they're playing at. They're playing at the fact that he'll revert to type. But no, he goes into this fight in a completely different mind. I think psychologically and physically he's in the best possible place. I think Don Charles is a major part of that. I think what Riz Khan set up there is right. Stan Dubois has built a team that he believes is a undisputed winning team, and it's now left for Daniel to just go in and implement the game plan and try and beat the man. And no one's done it in 23 professional fights for Oleksandr. Very few did it as an amateur. So yeah, it's a massive ask for Daniel Dubois. Has he got the tools to give it a real shot? Yes. Has he got the home advantage that Frank's given him? Yes. Does he catch Oleksandr Usyk at 38? Yes. But is Usyk still fresh? Is there any sign of decline? No. Is he the pound for pound king? Has he solved everyone in rematches? Yes. It's a tough ask for Daniel Dubois if you look at it like that. And everyone says, oh, the resume, he was brilliant against Miller, he was brilliant against Hrgovic. Of course, he was phenomenal against Anthony Joshua. However, look at the past form of Oleksandr Usyk and who he's beaten. So the team Usyk, they won't be worried in any way, shape or form. They were trying to do something today at the press conference. And I think, yeah, Don Charles and George Fox and everyone were much louder at the initial press conference. But I think that Daniel's ready to fight now. So it's going to come down to the four corners, the squared circle, and what happens at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. And if Daniel Dubois can pull it off, it will be one of the biggest wins in British sporting history and a changing of the guard. Could he do it? He could. Will he do it? Not so sure.
You just talked about the changing of the guard. I do want to speak a little bit about legacy. Already you could say Oleksandr Usyk's legacy is already set in stone, but just this mention of rematches, beating your opponent twice. He's done it with Anthony Joshua. He's done it with Tyson Fury. Potentially could do it with Daniel Dubois. What does that do for Oleksandr Usyk's legacy as well?
I think Oleksandr Usyk will be remembered as one of the greatest athletes who's ever lived when it's all said and done. Not just that, one of the greatest people. He conducts himself so incredibly impressively. He's a funny guy. I've spent a lot of time with him behind the scenes. He's unbelievably dedicated. He's a great family man. He's got 4 beautiful kids. He has charity work. He defends his country. He is devastated by what's happening in Ukraine at the moment, and he's a proud Ukrainian who was gutsy enough to stand on the front line until he was told that he'd be better as an ambassador for sport for the country. And yeah, he doesn't have to do anything else, Oleksandr. He's already etched his name in sporting and in human history forever. If he does the double over Daniel Dubois like he did over Tyson Fury and AJ, it just adds another layer to it. He only wants 2 more fights. Joe Parker will probably be the last due to spect, and probably next year. The one thing I'd like him to do is fight in front of his Ukrainian people, if that was possible. I don't think it is at the moment, but maybe in the next year or two it can be made. So to fight in Kyiv, I think, would be the finishing chapter that he'd love to see. I got a funny feeling Oleksandr Usyk is going to retire undefeated. But even if he doesn't, and he loses on Saturday night, and maybe that final fight is against Dubois, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at this stage. He's already going to be remembered as one of the greatest sports people who's ever lived. So yeah, this is just finishing touches, icing on the cake, I think.
Switching gears to another heavyweight fighter who's been floating around the press arena today, Joseph Parker, you touched on him. Can you sense a lot of frustration from him, or an element of frustration, the fact that he's not been able to get the fights that he wanted to do? And like you said before in previous interviews, he's just hungry to fight at this point. So where do you see 2025 for Joseph Parker potentially?
I'm pretty close to Joe as well. I've been around him a lot today, and I'm telling you, he's very irritated. He's very frustrated. He's a lovely guy. He's humble. The music videos are fun, but this is a guy who's constantly being sort of overlooked, and he shouldn't be. He's in the form of his life. We're talking about Daniel Dubois. I mean, what him and Andy Lee have achieved, since the Joe Joyce defeat has been miraculous. And Andy, of course, is the golden trainer at the moment. What happened with Hamza Shiraz last week in New York. I feel for Joe. He deserves this opportunity, but unfortunately, he's in a time where there's other attractions, and Usyk Dubois is a big attraction in Britain. So he's going to have to wait his turn. He's going to sit on that front row alongside Tyson Fury and Ajit Kabayel and many others, waiting their chance. But Joe definitely deserves the next one. But whether it'll happen, if Dubois wins, Usyk will fight Dubois. If Usyk wins, maybe AJ comes in, or maybe there's another twist. But Joseph Parker should definitively fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship next. There's no questions about it. Will it happen? We don't know. I think Spencer Brown and Frank Warren, all they can do is get him active. I think that's what he really wants. I think he'll fight you or me in September. I think he just wants to fight. I think he wants the big name, but I think he'd just be happy to fight. That's why Dave Allen's name's been thrown in. And my God, Dave, he's just dream. He looks up to Joe Parker like he's an idol, and to share a ring with him will be a dream for Dave Allen. And I just think Joe needs to get active again, and he will get his opportunity. I can't see him losing underneath that sort of level at the moment. So as long as he doesn't get too frustrated and too bored, he looks in great shape to me. He's got someone like Andy Lee alongside him who'll make sure he's always in great shape. And Joe's a wise guy. He's come around a second time in many ways. He was young and naive as a world champion before. He froze a bit in Cardiff against AJ, but I think he really believes in himself now. And I think Joe Parker will get his opportunity, and I think you write Joe Parker off at your peril. He's still a young man as a heavyweight, and he'll be there and thereabouts in the next year or two.
Two quick ones from myself. I have to talk about Katie Taylor and her performance against Amanda Serrano. I know yourselves personally are very close to her, more of a friend than a colleague, you could definitely say. Just talk to me about that performance and what that has done, for her legacy going forward.
Casey's a family friend of mine. We've been on holiday together. She's like an idol to my kids. We're very close, and it's difficult sometimes. You put the mic down and you pick it up. You've got to be totally neutral. I thought she was lucky to get the decision over Delphine Besson back in the Garden a few years ago. She wrote that wrong. I thought she was lucky to get the decision against Amanda Serrano for the second time. I thought she won the first fight. But on Friday night, I was just an admirer of Katie Taylor. I thought she rolled back the years. I thought she was absolutely brilliant. I thought she outclassed Amanda, something I never thought would happen. I thought her foot movement was phenomenal. I thought she judged the distance brilliantly. I thought she boxed like she was 25 again. I thought she was phenomenal. I thought she was incredible, Katie. And whatever she does now, I texted her on the morning of the fight. I said, box, box, box. And she did. She stuck to the game plan that Ross and her had cooked up. They didn't get involved. Yes, maybe the fans would have loved a third war, but Katie boxed really, really well. And she just went to show why she's the greatest female that's ever laced them up, and one of the greatest boxers to have ever laced them up. And I'm not saying that as a friend of hers. I'm saying that as an objective commentator. Katie Taylor's story is unparalleled. And I hope now that people really appreciate her for who she is, not just Ireland, but the world. She's a sporting icon. She's the most humble human being you'll meet. And I hope now she has her homecoming in Ireland. That's what she deserves, a massive stadium homecoming for her, whether it's Chantel Cameron, which maybe it should be as a third fight. It doesn't matter. Again, it could be you or me. Whoever she fights, I hope she gets that homecoming in Ireland in front of her people before she finally hangs them up. And do you know what? I think Katie will be such a great inspiration to all, she already is, to all the young females that are coming through, whatever they want to do. My daughters don't want to box, but they now know they can do anything in life. And that's a really important thing that Katie Taylor has made happen. She dressed up as a boy when she was 10 years old to fight. She went through hurdles and barriers and sparred with boys and men all around Eastern Europe when she was an amateur. You don't know the half of it, what she's gone through to where she is today. Today's just the icing on the cake. Today is just being a professional fighter. She has had to battle her way through so much, and I just have so much respect for her as a sports person, as a human being, and as a friend. And I'm just honoured to call her a friend. And I know that she will want to rest up now. Hopefully I'll see her in America in a couple of weeks. And whether she fights again, it's her decision. I'm not going to influence her. She's her own person. I think she will fight again, but that's her choice. And I hope she fights in Ireland, and I hope it's in front of as many people that they can get to that stadium, that they could do it in a country field. I mean, it doesn't matter where they fight. Pack them in, make it free for everyone. Make it a Katie Taylor homecoming. Like they did with Mill Street, with Eubank and Collins all those years ago. They just did it. They just put it in rural Ireland. Take it to County Cork, take it to Bray, take it anywhere. I just want to see Katie Taylor have the sort of homecoming that she deserves. Because let's not forget, she's been all around the world boxing. Ireland have been treated to her only a couple of times. Let's get the biggest crowd possible, seeing Katie Taylor fight one last time. And then she can hang them up and go and help the youngsters and be a coach, be a mentor, be a manager. She'll stay in the sport. Trust me, she's not going to put her feet up. But she will be such an inspiration to those young coming through. But she's not done yet. We need her in Ireland. We need a homecoming of all homecomings.
Adam, I want to thank you for your time and obviously answering our questions today. I appreciate you for everything you do, not just media now, for everything you've done in the past as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Bless you, thank you.